How you doing? Uh, Operation Unified America here, and I'm just going over the U.S. economic collapse, and that's why I entitled this video U.S. economic collapse. So today we're going to be touching down on a couple of key points here, mainly quantitative easing and what exactly it is and how it's affecting our U.S. economy. So if you take a step back into history, moreover the last 2 decades, you have noticed that we've gone through quite a few collapses, 2 in particular. One around the year 2000, the dot-com collapse, and the most recent one in 2008, that collapse. And so what that is basically going over, it's showing that there is a type of repetitiveness to our economic class. You can even take it back to the last century and notice that there is a systematic, there's systematic evidence that there is collapse continued throughout our history in America. So what does that mean to us? That means that there are collapses that are going to come in the future, and that we are in long due for one. So what is quantitative easing? Quantitative easing was put in place by the Federal Reserve to put money into the system. So what ends up happening is that they take that money and they put it into the central banks, which distribute it out to the smaller banks, and the bankers invest that money in the stock market. What ends up happening is the stock market is a stage for the world to reflect on how well the U.S. economy is doing. So since the 2008 collapse, we've had a steady growth in the stock market, reflecting positive growth. But in reality, the actual evidence would implicate that the U.S. economy is not doing so well, that we're not doing so well as far as employment and other situations. So what that means for us is that there is a collapse coming, and that it is best to prepare for this economic collapse. The best way to do that is to make sure that, number one, that you're out of debt. And that may be hard if you have a mortgage, so nobody can just pull that kind of money, out from a hat. So I would suggest the best thing to do is try to save up enough money so that you'd be okay for the next couple of months. So you just take a brief look at our history and how the economics of our history has done in the past few decades, and it will reflect that there is a collapse coming. So I would suggest that you do your own research, and you will go ahead and take a look at the matter yourself, determine for yourself whether this is real or not. And but if you do decide to believe that, I would suggest that you prepare. So you have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.